Greetings, fellow sim racers. So I recently bought this, an Amazfit Bip 6, and it has an esports mode. Time to have some fun.
Huh?
So I thought I'd try this out on a league race and see what it records, what it happens, see how accurate it is. So bottom right, you can see my heart rate. This is the start of a sprint race. Fairly calm before the storm. Then of course, starting at the back, because it goes in reverse championship order. And chaos, of course, at the starts. Heart rate immediately goes up.
I saw traffic jam.
Typhoon! Typhoon! Me? You know I will.
Well, that'll do nicely. I was just thinking how hard it is to overtake.
Oh, sorry, Johnny.
And of course, chasing down the leader for a few laps sends your heart rate up to max, well, up to almost as high as it would go.
No, I don't think I will.
These are modified cars, the Z Performance. It's got about 600 odd brake with the rules that we were using. Not an easy car to drive, as you can see.
I know.
Heart rate, of course, not helped out by this track, which doesn't really have much in the way of overtaking points either, so makes it harder, but I got a chance here. And then, of course, you can see the heart rate going down as the gap was extended and it looks safe, and then obviously to the win. On to the longer 30-minute endurance race in a car which is again modified and has about 800 horsepower. Not very easy to drive on a tight, twisty track. And then I get sold one at turn 1, and that immediately spikes my heart rate. And I could feel it anyway. You always know when your heart's pumping, but you can actually, it actually picks it up as well, which was well cool.
Yes, penalized. Don't worry, I'll bribe the stewards. Ah, sorry, right. Do you want the position, Ricky? Do you want the position, Ricky? Which birthday present? Ah. Who was it?
And then once you get to wheel, it really spikes. And 151 BPM, that's pretty high. Get a touch here as well into this corner, but that's accidental.
That was scary. Aptly named.
Fuck off.
And then interestingly, as soon as the overtake's done and you feel pretty comfortable, the heart rate just actually goes right down really, really quickly. And you sort of calm, relax, see pulling away.
Alright.
And if you listen carefully in the next couple of seconds, you can hear my watch calling out heart rate updates as well. And then, of course, after a bit into the race, you see from that times, I'm now in cruise mode. Heart rate roughly 100 BPM, maybe 100, 110. Feeling pretty settled, pretty comfortable, and it seems like it. And you just focus on what you're doing, but it's still a raised heart rate. I mean, my resting heart rate's about 55 to 60 BPM, because I'm pretty fit.
Yep.
But yeah, it's still raised. You're still having to concentrate. You are in this car because it's difficult on power. And then this was interesting. The tyres are starting to wear and the car's starting to get tricky, and I get a moment.
Bitchin' motherfucker. Real master bastard, this car, when the tyres just start to go a little bit.
And you can see on the graph for the next couple of laps where I know tyres are going to be a problem. The heart rate goes up again, 120.
Thanks for the position. Not to warm up the tires.
Yep, still struggling with it. We've got to last this out for a few laps yet as well.
Oh. Did I hackers like? Yeah, I know, but I was like, well, if I crossed it, I know where I did it, but that was millimetres.
And then I had to do a bit of an emergency fuel save the lap before. Basically drove a whole lap in one gear, but see the heart rate plummet when you know it's done.
I finished that, right?
So that was all good and fun. So some analysis. So the practice didn't cover in that, but you can see the heart rates just, and the warm up before the race is nothing. You know, it's just up and down in and out the pits as well, and the peaks and troughs. But practice and lapping just doesn't really seem to get your heart rate up at all. But you can see in the sprint race, early laps, battling with the traffic, and then chasing down Scary Biker, who is the leader, sent the heart rate right up, got past him, built a lead, and it just went down and down and down and down and down. And then there's that spike on that 2-lap battle where I got surprised in turn 1. And had to fight, chase hard in a car which is not a nightmare to drive, but it's not a walk in the park on that track anyway. There's a drop there just where that line is, that white line on the left on cruise mode, where I was cruising, and I think it just didn't quite pick up my heart rate at all. Don't know, position of my wrist, possibly something like that, but it didn't pick it up anyway. But then after that, it looked like I was, you know, a little bit raised while I was building a lead, and then you're just in, say, cruise mode. And then, of course, the little rise when the tyres start to go and you have to concentrate a bit harder, heart rate goes up. And then tails off again once you get on softs, you know it's all done, soft tyres, and the race is won. It works with the phone app, and it gives you a lot more data than you see on the watch. So 716 calories it reckons I burned in under 2 hours. Very believable. It's got your max heart rate there. All some nice little data. I set my workout goal at 30 minutes, just as a default. Realistically, should have been about an hour and a half or more. So that was all good. And more data with the heart rate graph, which I cut out and used in those overlays. And then your heart rate workout zones and the stress level. It manages or monitors stress. I'm guessing that's mostly based off heart rate, temperature, that sort of stuff, breathing rate. Looks like I was averagely stressed for most of that session. Okay. All in all, that's good fun. It's a pity you can't do an overlay of your actual heart rate live on a live stream. You can do that with a watch called the Garmin Esports. A watch which is 1,800 quid. And obviously that overlay only works for PC, not PlayStation. Pity. Not saying I would have got that, but that's definitely something to consider in future, I think, when I eventually move to PC and Assetto Corsa Evo. So yeah, sim racing burns calories. And this is only managed in esports. It thinks you're on a controller, not on a wheel and pedals. So the calorie burn and workout is probably higher as well.